Hi, I'm Greg Howlett, and I want to take just a minute and tell you about this course, Inspirational Improvisation. You may have taken courses in the past, and I want to tell you very briefly how this one's different. In this course, I'm not going to just play a song and then show you everything I did and say, go do likewise. That may work well for some people, but for most of us, that can be frustrating. I don't take that approach. Instead, what I do in these lessons is I go at it from a theory approach. I'm going to give you little nuggets of theory, and each nugget you're going to be able to plug and play into the music you play every day, every week in your church. They're going to be small lessons, each covering a specific thing, and then I'm going to give you an assignment to learn it well enough to actually use it in your music. Here's some examples of some of the things we're going to learn. We're going to start by talking about the 6 major chords, the 6 foundational chords that you see in your music. You have to be able to recognize them and know how to play them. They're the major 7th, the dominant, the half diminished, the diminished, the minor 7th. 6 chords. Those chords we're going to talk about at length, how to identify them. We're also going to talk about how to add the 7ths to triads, the difference between this chord and this chord. One is boring, a triad, one is exotic, a very different sound, and that's done by adding a 7th. I'm going to give you a chart that tells you exactly how to add the 7ths to all the music, all the chords that you play. We'll talk about chord substitutions, how to change a sound like to this, adding a minor 2 in exchange for a 5 chord, other substitutions as well. We'll go through those, and I'll show you how you can use them to make your progressions, the chords you use, better. We'll talk about other notes you can use in chords too. For example, a sound like this. That sound is a dominant chord, but it has a flat 9 added to it. We'll talk about even more complex chords. For example, that one. That one doesn't sound good by itself, but if you use it in a song, all of a sudden it does. For example, and on and on. There's all kinds of things we can do with colorful notes that we can add to chords that'll make them a lot better. We'll talk about all kinds of ways that you can replace the entire harmony of one song with another harmony. We call it step progressions. We'll also talk about treatments, what you can do in your left hand, technical things you can do to make your music better, simple patterns, arpeggios. I'll talk you through how to do those. I'll talk about other kinds of treatments too, the fancy stuff that you're used to seeing. We'll talk through those. We'll talk about ways to move the melody to the bottom hand, how to use scales in your music, how to use passing tones, how to use inner voice movement, all those kind of things. We'll also talk about hooks. Hooks are little motifs, little ideas that can make an arrangement sparkle. We want you to be able to use your own creativity to come up with standalone arrangements, and we'll give you the means to do that through technical treatments as well as hooks. And then we're going to talk about feeling. You know the difference. You've heard musicians that play well, and then there's other musicians that sound special. And I'm going to talk about what it takes to get from one level to another. So I hope you'll join me in this class as we study it. If you study with me, I have every confidence that your music will get much better.